And they do other things to kind of support the brewing community. So they have a lot of exclusive and locked up relationships with high quality hops growers, and they allow the extra hops that they don't buy from those producers and those growers to actually be sold to other home brewers or to other even competitors sometimes. And it's, again, an interesting way of, I think, kind of sustaining and supporting the community that goes beyond what would normally be kind of the short-sightedness of maximizing only their profitability. And it's another kind of, I think, service that they provide to their customers and to the industry at large. But again, I think it has a lot of interesting implications for other service and product companies. So last example is something I touched on just briefly before, which is this idea of the long tail. We were talking about the car rental market. And I did some work in financial services, specifically for a company that was providing services to excuse me, investment banks. And this is an analysis done of actually the Chicago market. It's the only market where the data was available. And it's published by Cranes in their book of lists. And it compares 1994 to 2003. And what you see is by 2003, there's a dramatic increase in the long tail and of investment banks. So this is literally the number of bankers per bank, and each one of these data points is a bank. So in 1994 and 2003, you had one big bank that had just under 100 employees, and then you can see kind of how the two curves differ. And the big difference, though, is by 2003, you have all these firms that have 20 or less employees. And as a matter of fact, it's hard to read, so I'll just tell you that the curve is actually cut off, and Cranes doesn't track investment banks that have less than 5 employees. So if they did that, this curve would probably just keep going and like wrap around the room. So what are the implications of this? The implications are that this is all about, excuse me, I'm very dry here. This is all about specialty investment bankers. So before, back in 1994, you'd have big banks like Goldman Sachs. And they would provide services to all the industries. And they would do mergers and acquisitions, and they would do underwriting. Well, by 2003, a lot of those banks like DLJ doesn't even exist anymore. And instead, you have a lot of specialty investment banks focused just by industries such as financial services, healthcare, automotive, high tech, and also focused on just doing maybe one specific thing, like they're only doing healthcare M&A. They don't even do IPOs, for example, right? And so if you're in this industry, and I had a client that was, and you're focused on the old paradigm, you're missing a huge opportunity here to